Talk about personal and family budgets. But before we do so, let's go over our do now. In our do now, it's asked about what percent of Hannah's budget is spent on housing. Housing takes up this. So what do you know about a circle graph? In a circle graph, it's divided into fourths: 0%, 25%, 50%, and 75%. So if it takes up 1/4 or a quarter of it, then it's worth about 25%. If I turn my head slightly, did you know taxes and housing takes up about 50% of this? A little less than 50%. And from what I can tell, housing looks almost the same size as taxes. The magnitude of it is almost the same. And it's about a fourth, but just a little less than a fourth. So if I had to take a guess, I would say about 21% of this circle graph is spent on housing. So our first question is, what is a budget? A budget is used to track how much money we spend over a period of time, or how much we earn over a period of time. For example, every year, Chase or American Express sends me a circle graph of how much money I spend for the whole year. Like they show me like a little circle graph. So I spend like, I don't know, 15% on entertainment. I spend on vacation. I spend about 30% on vacation. So from that, I can tell, ooh, I'm spending a little too much money on this category. Maybe I need to save up more money. So that's the reason why we have a budget. So your parents probably do set up a budget per month, per 6 months, per year to track how much money they are spending and how much they are spending in different categories. Because our goal, most parents' goals, are just we want to save money because we do value your college education, your future college education. So we want to save enough money so you will be able to go to the university of your choice. So what is a budget? It is used to track how much you earn and spend over a period of time. So if you look at our previous slide, this is Hannah's monthly budget. She spends a good amount of money, $940 worth on housing. Taxes, well, I pay a lot of taxes. $860 per month are taxes. God, it's a lot of taxes. She must have a really large house and this high mud or municipal district, a water district, utility district. So she spent food, saving. Well, she saved a lot of money. Good for her. Transportation, like car, gas, and miscellaneous. So I assume that includes like entertainment, buying clothes, buying shoes, and things like that. So, what are the benefits of setting and sticking to a budget? Well, from that you can easily see where you're spending too much money on, which category you're spending too much money on. For example, in her, I would say, I don't know, she's actually doing pretty good. I would say maybe, depending on what her age is, seems like she needs to spend a little more money on entertainment. She spends, she saves a lot of money, which is very, very good. Her taxes are way high, so I'm curious as to why her taxes. So you're from a budget, you're actually able to see everything in the whole picture. So from it, what did Bev say? You're able to save money. You're able to plan for future purchases. Like for example, if I set up a budget and realize, you know what, I want to go to a really, for example, next year I would want to go to Europe. Never been there before and never been overseas. So my goal is to go overseas. So in my budget, I am like putting more money in my vacation budget. So I'm spending less money on other types of entertainment so I can reach this goal. So on a whiteboard, record categories for family budgets. What expenses do families spend on a monthly basis? So this is your own thing. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be breaking them into groups, and then you're on a little whiteboard with a dry erase marker. You're going to say, where do people spend their money on? So for example, people spend their money on housing. People spend their money on definitely food, entertainment. Where else do we spend our money on in a monthly basis? Transportation. which includes car repairs, oil change, gasoline. I guess taxes. I didn't even think about that in this one. I would have never thought to put that down, but it does make sense. Oh, definitely savings. Maybe a family vacation, and so on. I'm sure there are more categories. I just can't think of any. Yeah, that's all I can think of. All right, so what you're going to be doing in class is you're going to be scanning this website. In this website, it tells you the minimum annual income to survive in each Texas city. So you scan it, it'll say, like in Houston, you will need a certain dollar amount to be comfortable. Um, Not like super rich, not super poor, but enough money to just survive. And then, so I know Dallas and Houston and Austin have a really much higher standard of living. You need to make more income in those three cities than maybe it's like San Antonio. Definitely El Paso. I have relatives in El Paso. Their housing is really cheap. Like I think most houses there are like 100,000. Even the nice homes are like 150, 160,000. Taxes are really low. So for exercises 1 through 5, use Hannah's personal budget, that's in the first slide, shown to the left, to calculate the percent of her total budget. Round to the nearest percent, you may use a calculator. So instead of guessing now, we are actually going to be using a calculator. So let's look at this. So this is how much you spend per month. Using my calculator, I'm going to add up the total of this. $860 plus $940. $860 for taxes, $940 for housing, $325 for food, $840 for saving, $300 for transportation, $520 for miscellaneous. So she spends per month $3,785 per month. That's her budget per month. But for housing takes up $940. This is $860. This is $940. So $940 out of $3,785 are spent on housing. I predicted it was going to be about 21%. So what is percent again? So remember this? Part to whole, percent per 100. So we do not know the percent, but we know part of the budget is spent on housing, $940. The whole budget is $3,785. So I need to break it down. So if I want to break this down, what should I divide by? What should I divide $3,785 by to get 100? Let's choose my calculator. I think it's 37 and 8,500. See, 3,785 divided by 37 and 8,500. That does give you 100. So what is 940 divided by 37 and 8,500? It is, oh, I was completely off basis. It's 24.8%. Oh, let's go back and look at a picture again. It's pretty bad. Like I should redo the video. So let's turn my head. They say it's about 25% or 1/4 of it. Does it really look like that? I mean, if it is, this light here should be a little more. I don't know. That's what they say. So I guess numbers don't lie. Unless you manipulate the numbers to your favor. $860. No taxes. So taxes are $860 spent on taxes. Again, I have no idea why she spent that much money on taxes. She must have high real estate tax. That's the taxes used to pay for your home so you can live there. Pays for city government. So I need to break this down. So part of what she spent in taxes is $860 out of the whole budget. So I divide this or break this down by 37 and 8,500. 37 and 8,500 using my calculator. 860 divided by 37 and 8,500. That is about 22.7% of the graph. All right, determine the minimum household budget. Well, we just did that already. Minimum household budget. The household budget is, if you add up all these numbers, it is $3,785. To survive on her budget, this is what she needs. $3,785. Number 4, determine the average hourly wage for one working parent to meet the budget. Assume the parent works 160 hours in 1 month. So how much does she make money? 3,785. So Hannah makes 3,785 in a month. But she does work for 160 hours. So I would like to know how much does she make per hour. So I need to break it down. I need to break it down to 1 hour. So how do I break 160 hours to 1 hour? I need to divide by 160. Divide by 160. So what's 3,785 divided by 160? You know what? I'm not going to do it without my calculator. 160 goes into 2 times. That's 340. That's 38. Bring down the 5. How many groups of 160 go in 385? 2 times. And that's 45. I need to get rid of this remainder, add another 0. How many groups of 160 go into this? I say 2 times again. That is 340. Remainder is 110. Let's do it one more time. How many groups of 160 goes into 1,100? I think 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. So $22.26 per hour. So if she spends 3,785 a month, how much is that a year? I'm curious. Let's see. Times 12 months. That's $45,000. She earns $45,420 every year. To live with her budget, she needs to make $22 an hour, which is pretty good money if you think. I know when I grew up, my parents did not make as much money. So determine the average hourly wage for one. So again, it's $3,785 per month. Imagine a family works 170 hours. So I need to break this down to 1 hour. So how am I going to break this down to 1 hour? I divide by 170. Divide by 170. Using my calculator this time, because I did the other one to show you. That is $22.26. Right. 3,785. Let's go back here again. 3,785 divided by 160. Let's stop right here. Oh! I knew I made a mistake here. I was thinking to myself, hey, let's go back to this one. There is a total mistake right here. So 3,785 divided by 160. I thought 160 times 2 is 340. Actually, 160 plus 160 is 320. So 58 is what you remains with. Bring this down. So this goes in 3 times now. 160 plus 160 plus 160 is 0. 18 carried a 1. 480. Subtract this. I have 105. I want to get rid of this remainder. Bring it down. So how many groups of 160 go into 1,050? Goes in 6 times, which is 0. 36 carried in 3. 9. 0, 9. So 90. I want to get rid of this remainder. How many groups of 160 go to 900? Well, 6 is too large. So it's 5 times. Okay. So it's about $23.65. I apologize. So if someone makes $3,785 in a month and they work for 160 hours, that means they need to make $23.65 per hour to survive. And this one is $22.26. So the main thing what we learned today is, given a budget where you track your expenditures and income, how much you spend and earn per month, you can be able easily to see your categories, how much you spend. Sometimes you might have to readjust your budget. Then we learn how to do percents again. I mean, we've been working with percents for a long time. Remember parts, to whole, percent per 100, and then you're able to find the exact percent of your budget that you spend on certain categories. And then from that, you're able to figure out how much money do you need to make per hour to live comfortably by breaking it down from a certain number of hours to 1 hour. So you're finding the unit rate, and it's $23, or unit price actually, because this is about price, $23.65 per hour.